Today makes it exactly 3 years since President Bola Ahmed Tinubu took over office. And before you start typing, what are we celebrating? Let me ask you something. Must everything be perfect before it is acknowledged? Because many of us celebrate wedding anniversaries despite the troubles in the marriage. You celebrate your businesses despite the debts and struggles. You celebrate your birthday and yourself despite your imperfections. But when it comes to governance, suddenly perfection becomes the minimum requirement. And that's a very interesting standard. Now, all over the Nigerian social media space, the conversation is mostly about what is not working. And yes, there is hardship. Yes, there is insecurity. Yes, there is frustration. But leadership should not be judged only by the problems it inherited. Leadership must also be judged by the decisions it was willing to make. Whether you support this administration or not, the truth remains that this administration has had to make and implement some of the toughest policies and reforms that have challenged the status quo and impacted on this country now and in the future. Are they painful? Absolutely. Are they necessary? History will decide. Now let's look at some of the reforms. Firstly, the removal of fuel subsidy. Not because it was popular, but because the country could no longer afford to spend trillions maintaining systems that benefited a few while mortgaging the future of many. Secondly, the foreign exchange market was liberalized. Again, painful, but no economy can continue operating multiple realities at the same time and then expect investors to trust it. Then came the students' loan. For the first time, thousands of young Nigerians now have a pathway to higher education without immediately depending on family wealth. Under this administration, states now receive significant increase in allocation, meaning governors now have fewer excuses and more responsibility. Also, local government autonomy has gained momentum, meaning the communities now have stronger voices that are closer to the lives of the people. Then tax reforms that is impacting and changing systems that businesses have been complaining about for years. There are also a lot of road projects, rail projects, infrastructure projects simultaneously ongoing across the country. Even agriculture has gained renewed attention because no serious country can continue importing what it should be producing. There's also a significant increase in revenue generation and lots more to come. But let's stop here because I know what you are thinking. And that is, but people are still suffering. Yes, they are. Yes, we are. And that's exactly why this conversation is important. Because suffering does not cancel facts. And facts do not cancel suffering. Both can exist at the same time. The problem, however, is that many Nigerians have become too politically emotional that they are no longer able to separate governance from politics. To them, everything is politics. Everything. If their preferred candidate does it, it is genius. If another person does it, it is evil. Interesting again. Now listen carefully. As of today, May 29th, 2026, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the president of Nigeria. Not your candidate, not their candidate, but the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And until that changes constitutionally, every well-meaning Nigerian should want the government in power to succeed. Because when government fails, it is not the politicians that suffer first. It is the citizens. And countries are built when citizens mature enough to acknowledge and admit what is working, to criticize what is not working, and still keep moving forward. Now, 3 years later, the work is far from finished. But to pretend that nothing has happened is not patriotism. It is politics. And Nigeria definitely deserves more than politics masquerading as patriotism. Congratulations to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's regime or administration, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.